What can you talk to a 7-year-old for? Have you tried to have a conversation with a 7-year-old for more than 20 minutes? It's an impossible thing.
I can't talk to my son. I mean, it's just
it's an impossible thing to do. Sorry, I blew out the mic. I'm sorry about that.
It's okay. We'll get it in.
Anyway, but it just was like, it's an insane thing. That I mean, I've been watching that, and I've been watching the case against Adnan Syed.
I haven't watched that yet. It definitely does for me, but my daughter is 9 months.
Yeah.
How the fuck can you even watch this kind of stuff when you have kids that are an age that there's more autonomy in their lives?
Right.
I know that there's very good supervision on your and your wife's part, but still, I mean, one's about to go to high school, which means they're going to want to be less supervised. They're going to be wanting to go to places with their friends, all that. How the fuck do you watch stuff where like kids are getting murdered or molested and not lose your fuck? I guess you did because you're starting.
I do because you want you look at it as like research. You're like, okay,
what did they do wrong?
Right, what did they do wrong, and what signs did they miss, and like, what are we trying to figure out? And to me, the truth of it is, because I watched Then Abducted in Plain Sight, which
I watched that too.
Minute 22. When he's like, then I just leaned right over and I gave him some relief. You're like, what?
I haven't seen it yet.
Anyway.
I could not believe that. My wife put that on for me. I was like, why did you put this on?
Well, because the reason that is crazy.
But then at minute 22, I was like, oh, I get it.
I get it. There's my lady.
Yeah.
She knows what I like.
Yeah.
But the idea of that and the idea of the whole Elizabeth Smart thing is that the Mormon church really teaches people to just believe in what old men are saying, and don't question this, and the blind faith in certain things allows for people to just take your kids away. I mean, it's just this like, well, don't question it. It's like, question everything.
I tried to question nursery school. I was like, who are these people? Why do they have a house with a gate around it? And like, who wants to hang out with 6 1-year-olds?
Nobody. If they're just trying to
why would they want to?
Money.
It's screaming all day.
It's
not that much money.
Some people are like, this is all I can do.
Right.
And at least, some people are like, this kid is screaming, but I know how to soothe this kid. At least it's not like a boss that's trying to scream at you.
Right.
And they're like, I'd much rather than be in an office.
It's a power dynamic.
Yeah. You're like, I'm in control.
Did you send your kids to self-defense courses or anything like that?
No, my youngest daughter knows she's like really good at gymnastics. I'm like, she can probably flip her way out of something. But I also
finish
and kick him in the face.
Nuts and finger to the eyeball.
That's right.
Best advice I ever got.
They are, but when we try and talk about we try and just talk all the time. I think that's the key. And even that can't save it. I mean, look, anything can happen. But I mean, just talking all the time means you're up on what they're doing. You're into what they're doing in a way. Like, you just have to be on top of it in a way that I think parents didn't do it before, but which gave us a lot more autonomy. Like, we had a lot more autonomy when we were kids. When I was in 8th grade, my parents were both working. Like, we had a key to our house. We would walk home from school, and I remember having girls over.
You grew up here, right? In LA?
No, I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, I had girls over. We were hooking up in 8th grade. I don't know if that's nice. I have an 8th grader now.
Right.
So it's like not nice.
Think about that.
Not nice.
Well, good for you.
Would you take it back if you could?
No, it was super fun.
Would you be like, I don't think your parents would like this?
But that's what we did. I mean, we just did that. But this is their kids are different today.
Yeah.
They're different.
Parenting's different.
I mean, look, there may be kids, certainly I'm assuming in Nebraska, that they're bored, nothing's going on, they're blossoming and blooming in ways that they're hooking up. They look like they look like high school kids. I feel like my daughter and a lot of her friends are they skew down. They skew younger. So there isn't a lot of that. Even if someone's like a boyfriend and girlfriend, they're not doing anything. They're not even kissing. They're just not even.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a different era.
They're sending each other heart emojis. And that's for space now.
And eggplants.
Yeah.
The eggplant is what?
It's a dick.
A penis.
It's like a throbbing dick.
Why is it throbbing?
It's
Well, because it's full of blood. It's purple.
I wouldn't say throbbing. It's
I've never
more-
sane an eggplant throbbing.
Throbbing is
the blood is there.
I think
It's
the
been
term you're looking
throbbed.
for is engorge.
Engorged, yes, yeah.
Nice dog. Sick.
Have you had to have the talk with your older daughter? Speaking of engorged,
I know she's gone through. She's done sex
Sex ed
education.
in
She's
school,
had
yeah.
sex ed in school.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't had the talk.
has your wife?
I mean, they know what's up. Like she knows what's up, but I don't know if she and again because it was taught to her, so she knows all the terminology. But like the next talk we have is about, hey, if you're with some, if we start to see her liking somebody and they are together, then we're like, hey, just be careful.
Is that going to be you or your wife or both of you?
Both of us.
Same
But
time.
I think it's going to be like it'll probably attack it from two sides in two different ways of like, hey, just be careful because I guarantee you this dude is going to want to like move things faster than you probably will.
Yeah.
So just be careful. Don't get pregnant.
And unless he can get you into that one school that was your first choice, do not do it.
Right.
Don't.
I'm surprised in LA specifically there aren't the talk consultants, like an older person that your kid looks up to that isn't going to make it awkward to have that talk with them.
Let me tell you, but you want to be cool. You want to learn about the birds and the bees.
Yeah.
Come over and hang out with me, Derek.
Honey, you're just gonna sit down and talk to Randy Choate. He's gonna walk you through everything. He brought slides. He's got a PowerPoint presentation. He's just gonna tell you about the birds and the bees. We hired him. The Beglers used him.
We got to stop hanging out with the Beglers.
The
Dad.
Beglers used
Horrible
him.
name.
The Rotgos used him.
They were great. That they come from a long line of painters.
The Rotgos used him. The Beglers used him. The Boothclaborns, they used him.
Love the Boothclaborns.
These are all like friends of mine.
Really, the Boothclaborn is a great name.
Justin and Jill Boothclaborn.
Justin and Jill Boothclaborn.
Justin's British.
Sure.
Just a great.
Oh, Boothclaborn.
Boothclaborn.
Oh, the Boothclaborn.
I presume. Oh, is it the Boothclaborns?
I have this character called Gerald Whipplecoat. Right? They're all weirdos.
Gerald
in England.
Whipplecoat?
Whipplecoat.
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 Whipplecoat. Oh, Whipplecoat, you've done it. You've done it again.
Your leather-bound books astonish me.
Whipplecoat, you and your smoking jacket.
Oh, good sirs. What is this I hear with my own 2 ears?
How's your brother Gareth?
Oh, Gareth is wonderful. Of course, he's all frolicking and frimping.
Is he at university?
Yes, of course. He graduated from college.
He went to Weatherford?
Weatherhofferford. Weatherhofferford.
Is he still working summertimes in the haberdashery?
Yes, of course. He's a huge hat man.
I would like to get one of my hats blocked. Is that a possibility?
Absolutely. Just go over to Whifflepuffs.
I'll go to Whifflepuffs.
Right near the 9 3/4 platform.
I love it. And I'll get some vinegar.
Ooh.
Because we're having fish and chips tonight.
Oh, delicious. I don't mind if I do.
Delicious. Delectable.
Do you want to hear the trick to learn how to speak British? You say ears for the word yes. So you go,
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
and the longer that you drink.
I'm a bit of an Anglophile.
Okay.
I'll say it. I do like England. I really want to perform over there. Have you either of you guys performed over there?
Never been there.
I really, really want to. Really want to. There's,
Edinburgh.
Isn't
okay,
that
so
not England? That's
it's
Scotland, right?
I don't know. It's all the same thing. No, I'm going to get murdered.
It's the UK.
Yeah, but
but it's
a good start.
You have to be there for a month. You have to promote your own shows.
Right.
You could lose money. This goes back to the whole Moon Tower thing.
Right.
You could lose money. Like literally tell your wife and your kids or my family, hey, I'm going to go to England. Are you going to make a lot of money? No, we actually might lose money. How long are you going to be gone for? A month? And then all of them will be like, how much do you hate me?
Right.
Why do
exactly.
you not want to be around me? And I'm like, no.
But the
A
opportunity.
friend of mine the other day was
There's
like,
no
hey,
Experience.
do you want to, I want you and Sally to get a babysitter. Come to this yoga class I go to where everybody's hitting a vape pen. It's really light stretching. It's really
Everyone
nice
hits
and
a vape
relaxed.
pen and then you do them.
And then you do yoga. And then we'll go out to dinner and sit in my hot tub for a little bit.
Who is it? Who is this?
One of my
Bertie
best friends who
Brillstein?
just moved here from home. But I was just like, I brought
kids.
this up
He
to
has
my
no
wife.
kids.
No kids.
None.
And I was like, hey, do you have just like $150 that you don't want that you could just give to a babysitter so we could go get high and do yoga and sit in a hot tub. I was like, she's like, how much do we hate our daughter if we do that?
By the way, it does sound amazing. First of all, you don't hate your daughter. She's only 9 months. She'd never know the difference. And that is $150 well spent. Let me just say that from the great beyond, speaking back to someone who has 9 months, you should definitely try that. The other thing is my wife and I went to Burning Man this year for the first time. Did we talk about this? So that's how I know the RV people, the karaoke RV people.
That makes a lot of sense.
So my wife turns, when does this drop? Do we know when this is dropping?
April 1st. Next week. Next week?
Yeah. April 1st.
It's April 1st, everybody.
Hey.
No joke.
Wait, who watched the kids while you went to Burning Man?
So we had to set that whole thing up. So my wife is turning 50 on April 8th this year. I'm outing her age. But it's a big deal. And she was like, I want to go to Burning Man. And my wife had been to, in her lifetime, 165 Grateful Dead and Jerry Garcia shows.
Really? My bar mitzvah theme was the Grateful Dead.
Stop.
I love the Grateful
He's a huge.
Stop.
You hit
And
the
I saw
button.
you guys post that picture of you and Bob Weir.
Oh,
and
my
I was like,
God.
oh, I can't wait
Me
to
and
talk
Jane.
about
I'm
that.
going to check out for a few minutes.
Are you
guys.
really?
I don't.
I did when you guys
I
were
don't
doing
get into
the
Grateful
English
Dead at
thing,
all.
So
There we go. See you later, guys. Avery Pearson, checking out.
this guy feels like a stranger.
I don't get that reference.
Who are you? Like, this guy's like Donna Jean Gaucho's sister.
God, you guys are ridiculous. I know that song where Quebec's in it. What's that song?
any day.
What's that song where Quebec's in
worry
it?
about me
Their
now.
popular song.
Nah, don't worry about me now. Anyway, I like the Grateful Dead. She loves the Grateful Dead and loved. I mean, I think that she went through a time where she's like, I don't know, but also wasn't like, I love all jam bands. Like, you know, you talked about the Grateful Dead, and then I'm like, you know, I loved Fish when I was growing up. And I mean, a friend of mine, she's like, I fucking hate Fish. I'm like, okay, so it's specific. But she's been to like harmonic convergences and rainbow gatherings. She's got a rainbow gathering name, Sunwater. I mean, she's been to the Oregon Country Fair. She's been to shit. And so, but she'd never been to Burning Man. And she's like, I want to go. And so we had friends whose kids go to our kids' school, and they're friends with my kids, and they're like, we're going. We do a camp every year, this great camp called Alter Ego. We do two breakfasts and 2 cocktail hours. We serve people, and here we've done it, and we know how to do it, and we know exactly how to do it, and there's an extra ticket if you want to go. And
Sounds great.
both of you, and my wife said, I want to go. I want to do it. And so she went out. She went out for the whole time. I was like, you go for the whole time. Because I was like, I don't know if I want to go. I just don't know. I'm skeptical, truthfully. I'm like, am I going to go and just
Get dirty.
either that? I don't mind about getting dirty. I'm like, am I going to just plug into some other experience that isn't me, and I'm going to be pretending to be something that I'm not, or at least not fully engaged because it's someone else's trip. It's not my thing.
But
Is
don't
there
you
a
think
comedy tent?
there's so much going on there that you could go as an observer and still be as engaged?
Maybe, but I was just holding the idea of going at bay for so long. And then finally I was like, you know what? My wife really wants to go. I want to go with her. I want to be with her to do this. So let me figure out how we set the kids up. And we have, you know, a babysitter or nanny who works with us. And I was like, she can like one night or 2 nights be with the kids, and then my kid can go over the weekend. Oldest kid can go over the weekend. My youngest kid went with friends up to Lake Tahoe to their house for the weekend because it's right by Labor Day weekend. And I was like, we'll meet. Then we'll drive from, you know, Black Rock over to Tahoe, which is only like 3 hours. Meet them there, go to the house, jump in the lake, like just kind of
Cleanse yourself
have
afterward.
a very much of a soft landing at a really nice place, and not having to drive out. So I went, and like I said, they're the people who work in my wife's office have the karaoke RVIP, which is just the dopest thing ever.
What's your wife do?
She's an interior designer.
Oh, cool.
And she works in the Roger building over in Silver Lake, and there's like 5 or 6 offices rented by different people.
Interior design, I've come to It is incredibly difficult.
She's an artist. She's incredible. She's unbelievable.
Is your house like super dope? Like style wise?
Totally. And in ways.
Would you be able to like even get close to that without her? Like not even in a fucking.
No.
The things she picks out, you're like, how do you know that looks good?
We went on a river rafting trip and she picked up a piece of driftwood. I'm like, what are you doing? And now it's like in our house at a certain thing. I'm like, well, looks pretty good up there. She knew what she was doing. She knew what she was doing. She found this thing. I mean, she's drift. She catch my drift.
Yeah, she did. I'm going to show myself out.
She's right over there dead. So,